Here's what Rick and Morty look like while traveling through the universe in their own show.
Look at their adventures, Morty. Rick and Morty forever and forever, 100 years. Rick and Morty some things.
And here's what they look like when they cross over into other shows' universes.
Then we're leaving. Me, Easelbot Slag, the Corgis, Giant Squiggles, Scooty's fat drug dealer, and this cardboard cutout of Pickle Rick.
And Rick and Morty sure have made their way into a buttload of other shows, but the question is, just how many? Well, today I'm going to be answering that by going through and finding all the shows that Rick and Morty are hiding in, starting with the classic, The Simpsons. Maybe the most famous example of Rick and Morty appearing in another show is probably the time they invaded The Simpsons couch gag. You know, usually it looks something like this. But in the episode Mathlete's Feet, the Smith and Sanchez boys make their debut.
Oh my God, Morty, what did you do? You killed the Simpsons, Morty!
No, I didn't mean to.
Go, God, look at the baby one! Oh my God, Morty! You killed the entire Simpsons, Morty! They're a beloved family, Morty! They're a national treasure, and you killed them!
After killing the Simpsons, Rick tells Morty to hop into another dimension with their DNA to clone them and bring them back. And while Morty's doing as he's told, Rick makes himself comfy in Evergreen Terrace. To be fair, I'd need something stronger than Duff if I just killed an entire family. After Rick's finished stealing all of Homer's cold cuts, he bumps into Flanders of all people.
Diddly ho, neighbor. Looks like you got a spaceship in your... Who are you?
Come on, Rick, did Flanders really deserve that? Anyway, while he's giving Ned the cold shoulder, Morty's picked up some Simpsons clones ready to be put back in their world, but I wouldn't say they're like for like.
Huh, wow. Hey, Morty, little tip. Don't clean DNA vials with your spit.
Geez, they all look like failed Operation Phoenix experiments. Without fixing those freaks or unfreezing Flanders, Rick and Morty hop back into the ship and head back to their own universe.
No more guest animators, man.
This isn't the only time Rick and Morty have appeared in Springfield, though. While being a show in our universe, they're clearly a show in the Simpsons universe, too. Because in the Krusty the Clown episode, Homer gets a job of being a TV show recapper when Lisa finds out he has a knack for it. You and me both, brother.
The mouse and the cat hate each other. That feels real to me. It was quite a ride, and I was on board until the shawarma screamed.
He becomes obsessed, watching show after show, and it causes a rift between him and Marge, so he decides to quit. But a TV exec scoops him up and takes him for a little chat.
Recapping was ruining my marriage. There were so many shows I couldn't keep up.
It's true. Currently, there are over 500 scripted shows on network, cable, and streaming.
He tells Homer that most of the shows that are being made are actually fake. They're all just marketed to create a buzz around the network. But more importantly, when he tells Homer, take a look to the left of your screen and you'll see Rick and Morty fly past.
No one could watch more than 300 of them.
Oh, we don't care if people watch. We just care if they subscribe for $13 a month.
And when the greedy exec talks about his insane plan, he says it might be insane, but not as insane as making the bajillion shows they advertise. Rick and Morty also get a cameo here too. Look at the smallest TV at the top right, and then go to the fourth column, second down.
But not as insane as making that many shows.
See? Right there. We get a title card. Thankfully, Rick and Morty is an actual show that we can watch and not one of those made-up ones. We're not done with The Simpsons yet, though. We got one more time they appeared on the show, and it's actually in a Treehouse of Horror episode. In number 33, we see that The Simpsons have become meta, and there's an amusement park filled with a bunch of animatronic Simpsons reliving old Glory Day episodes.
Homer, there's a family of possums in here.
I call the big one Bitey. We all call him Bitey.
Dude, what if Homer was drunk during monorail? Yeah, come here, dude.
After that Homer we just saw malfunctions, he becomes self-aware and knows he's trapped in a theme park, so he wakes the other members of his family up to try and break out of their matrix. As you saw, they break out of the Simpsons world and head on the road where they find themselves in like a nice quiet food joint, but little do they know they're still in the Matrix.
What? You got big eyes. The cheese got left out, so it's a little sweaty, but you never know. Forget I said anything. Take your time. Take your time.
They're just in someone else's Matrix. Instead of being in Simpsons world, they're now in Bob's Burgers land, and we find out that nearly every show has its own creepy amusement park, including Rick and Morty. Look at the back right of the picture there. It's Rick's big ol' head. I'm not sure I'd ever want to go to Big Mouth Mountain, though. Rick and Morty have also made their way into the other mammoth of adult animation, Family Guy. We first see a physical nod to Rick and Morty in the episode P-Terminator, where someone has sent a Terminator-style robot back to the past to kill Stewie.
What are you doing? She's in the kitchen.
It turns out Brian, of all people, is the one who sent the robot, and he sent it from the future. So they're gonna hop into the future to find out what the heck is going on, and to do that, they use a device that might look a little familiar.
That's not your normal time pad. Where'd you get that?
I borrowed it from Rick and Morty. They borrowed plenty from us.
Hey, fair is fair. Family Guy were doing multiverse storylines in 2009, 4 years before Rick and Morty even went to air. It's not the only time Stewie's taken devices from Rick, though, because in season 22, we find out that most of his weapons are from Rick.
Are these guns from Rick and Morty?
Yeah, they had kind of a fire sale over there.
It's a shame Stewie's dumping them, but apparently he's kicking his bad boy habits, and that means no more ray guns. Boo. That's all we got for Family Guy, but it's not all we got for Seth MacFarlane shows, because the boys show up in American Dad as well. Well, Rick does anyway. Klaus is off on a hot date, and to make himself stand out, he has Jeff whip up a decoration for his fishbowl. That decoration being Pickle Rick.
How hard is it to make a fishbowl with 1 mongoose, 2 Pickle Ricks, and Kawhi Leonard in a Knicks jersey? Let's go! That glass is over 1,000 degrees. It needs to cool. There's no time. We'll crank the van's AC. To Ruby Tuesday!
You need a hot bowl for a hot date, and Klaus certainly has that. If you guys need a little reminder of who that decoration is, then here you go.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal, I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle!
I know none of you needed a reminder, but I can't turn down an opportunity to show Pickle Rick. And there's some more Pickle Rick action on the way, because in Netflix's sci-fi animation Farzar, he also makes a brief appearance. As Renzo's readying to abandon the planet, he lists all the things he needs to take with him.
We're leaving. Me, Easelbot Slag, the Corgis, Giant Squiggles, Scooty's fat drug dealer, and this cardboard cutout of Pickle Rick.
Just the essentials then. So far we've seen nods from creators like Matt Groening, Seth MacFarlane, so how about we go to one of the actual creators of Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon, and his show, Community. Aside from Rick and Morty, Community is probably Dan Harmon's most successful piece of work. It centers around a lawyer who's been suspended and he's gotta go to community college or something like that. Things get pretty wacky. Anyway, in season 5, when they're doing the end of the episode wrap-up, we see Abed and Rachel sitting down and watching the pilot episode of Rick and Morty. It's pretty fast though, blink and you'll miss. I mean, when you write a show like Rick and Morty, I'd be trying to sneak in Easter eggs in all of my other projects as well. And if any of you detail stickers out there want the exact scene, I think this is it.
What do you think of this flying vehicle, Morty? I built it out of stuff I found in the garage.
Yeah, Rick, it's great. Is this the surprise?
Pretty neat, right? Well, Dan Harmon isn't the only creator of Rick and Morty, and he's also not the only creator with other shows, because Justin Roiland also has other stuff going on, and the show I'd like to look at next is Solar Opposites. If you've never seen Solar Opposites, it's got the same animation style as Rick and Morty, and it's about a bunch of aliens who crash land on Earth after their home was destroyed. One of them loves the Earth, the other hates it and wants to leave. You get the idea. Oh, and they have replicants, which are like their children. Anyway, they're in the same cinematic universe as Rick and Morty, and there's been a few nods to the show from time to time, like when a young picture of Morty appears in the casting agent's office in the episode The Quantum Ring.
You guys, we're not just a space team, we're also a family team, which is why I had to hire those magicians to pretend to kill me. They're all out of work
If you look at the 5th picture on the top row, you can see the guy. At least I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be him. Then in the Patricia device, it's Summer's turn to appear in a picture, this time smashed among some wreckage after the boys make a robot and it goes nuclear on the town.
These are blades.
And whose fault is that, huh?
I don't know what to do. Wait, if she hates the mank AIDS.
And if you look to the bottom left of the frame, you can see Summer. It kind of looks like an older version of her, or, maybe even a less primitive version of this Summer.
Oh my god. I have that exact same top.
We got another Matt Groening project in our hands now because Rick and Morty also technically appear in Futurama. Well, their names do, but we're still counting it. I mean, even their names showing up is a bit iffy. You'll see what I mean. Basically, Fry vows to watch every episode of TV there is and nearly sends himself insane. Obviously, Bender warns him against doing it by showing him just how many shows there are, and as he's scrolling through them, if you keep an eye out for number 242 on the left-hand side, you'll see what's supposed to be Rick and Morty.
I don't know, meatbag. There's a mighty deep diaper of content out there.
I eat diapers for breakfast.
I wouldn't openly admit that if I were you, Fry. The name isn't 100% right. It's listed as Rick and Morty, but it's enough of a nod to know what they meant. Which is the same sort of deal in the Netflix smash hit show Stranger Things. When the gang are trying to find Eddie Munson when he goes missing in season 4, spoilers I guess, they're put on to a friend of his called Reefer Rick. So they search the database for Ricks at the video store and a certain Rick Sanchez pops up.
12 Ricks already have accounts here. A lot of Ricks.
If you look at the number 10 on the list, you can see the man himself. Sure, it might be a coincidence, but I think Rick Sanchez is such a synonymous name now that it can't be anything but an Easter egg to the smartest man in the universe.
Rick, here's... What's going on?
It's hard to tell. He may have manifested some sort of butt.
He can do that?
He is the smartest man in the universe.
Yeah, that guy. Another adult animation behemoth that's had Rick and Morty hiding in it a few times is Seth Green's Robot Chicken. If you don't know the show, get out from under the rock you've been hiding under for the past 8 bajillion years, but on the 1,000,000 to 1 chance you don't know it, it's basically about a dead chicken who's been revived by a mad scientist and turned into a cyborg that's forced to watch sketches, usually about pop culture, and sometimes they're pretty near the knuckle.
You're going to prison, Sinestro!
Sorry, green fool. Your ring won't affect anything yellow, so I adopted a bunch of Asian kids.
See what I mean? Well, Rick and Morty have made their way into those sketches. Well, a picture of them does. The sketch in question is a robot chicken nerd doing a Grand Canyon jump in order to save the show. And while they're showing how nuts the Adult Swim CEO is, we see the boys in a picture behind them. Keep looking, because you'll also see Family Guy and BoJack Horseman, too.
Rambunctious tycoon president of Adult Swim, home of hit shows such as Family Guy reruns and BoJack Horseman, has thrown down a shocking gauntlet.
That's triple the Easter egg bang for your buck. Time to move on to our next show, and it's some more adult animation. It's made by the same guy who made Bizarre. It's Paradise PD. This one is basically about a bunch of incredibly incompetent small-town cops. Anyway, in How the Cookies Crumble, Hobson, one of the characters in the show, is fired. Fired off the show. So he goes and finds a new show to be a part of, and he chooses Rick and Morty for some reason. And you'll never guess whose job he's taken. I mean, you will guess, but I have to play it for drama, guys. Come on.
They understand that when I stick my through a mail slot, it's a metaphor for the futility of existence.
Man, he sounds just like all the Rick and Morty fans on Reddit. Obviously, the living room is a remake of the Smith house, but you can also see a silhouette picture of Rick and Morty in the middle of the frame, and of course, Hobson is now Morty. But I don't think Rick is taken to his new Morty all too well.
Just ask the star of the show. He loved it. All right, let's go.
How insufferable is this old dude that one afternoon with him has forced Rick to end it all? The police want him back on the force to help them with the sperm bank robbery, which, to be fair, is a little less highbrow than what we usually get on Rick and Morty. Now, I don't want you guys judging me for the next show I'm about to talk about. I only found it thanks to research. Next up, it's My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. I know what you're thinking. What? Well, let me cook here. In what might be the most random Easter egg ever, in the episode Granny's Gone Wild, Rainbow Dash goes to Las Pegasus, which is the pony version of Las Vegas, and she wants to go on a super cool roller coaster, maybe the Whirly-Durly. And while on the line, we see a strange couple of ponies on the left side of the screen.
One ticket for the coolest roller coaster of all time, please.
And there they are, Rick and Morty in pony form. Hey, Rick says there's infinite realities, so there's gotta be one where he's a pony, right? It's not just the boys themselves that show up in other shows. Sometimes Rick and Morty is represented by other memes. Remember the Cromulons from the Get Swifty episode of Rick and Morty? You know, these guys?
Show me what you got!
Jim, you heard them said, show me what you got.
Show me what you got! I want to see what you got!
Well, in Total Drama-Rama's Season 2 episode School District 9, a bunch of weird aliens also show up, and they want to destroy the planet unless us pitiful humans show our worth. Although these aren't head monsters, they're snot monsters.
I am Nostradamus, leader of the Snifferlids. We are a superior species who travel the cosmos, deciding which life forms are useful to the universe and which are useless.
Smell the truth!
If you don't impress the mucus mafia, you end up totally boogerified, which is pretty gross, to say the least.
Lobes of the human brain.
North, south, eastern!
Now, the rest of you, prove your worth.
And like those giant heads, the boogeymen have a very particular saying.
Large-boned human child, you're up next. Show us what you've got.
Oh, come on, you can't tell me that's not a Rick and Morty reference. I'm not grasping at straws here, okay? Remember a while back when we covered Futurama and the boys were listed down as Rick and Morty? Well, in Ben 10 Omniverse, it kind of does the same, but instead of dropping just a title on TV, the show names a couple of characters after the famous duo who we see in the episode The Final Countdown. Basically, the pair of them are a couple of many plumbers who must defend their base.
Wait, Plumber Brick? Where is the other Bovonian? Plumber Morty?
He should be here.
He is not. Find him, please.
Yeah, instead of Rick, they've alienified his name and called him Brick. Don't worry, you'll be seeing Morty soon. Anyway, Brick is a good plumber and he does what he's told, so he goes and looks for his partner. But it turns out Morty has been kidnapped.
Morty!
As you can see, they don't really look like their namesakes, but there's no doubt that this is a nod to the show. I mean, you can't call two friends basically Rick and Morty and have it not be on purpose. Obviously, Ben shows up and whoops the kidnapper's butt and saves both Brick and Morty. Oh, and as a reward for dealing with the kidnapping, the pair are put in charge of taking Kundo the kidnapper to a prison planet.
He goes off to a nice padded planet for a long rest.
He is very talky, but good fun.
And seeing this, it made me wish they did a Ben 10 Rick and Morty crossover for real, but I don't really know how that'd actually work. But like, let me have it, okay? 4 arms versus a Gazorpian? Please? Stuff like that would be so cool to see. Anyway, there's one more namesake I want to point out for you guys, and it's actually in the show Supernatural. It's basically about a pair of supernatural hunting brothers, and a lot of stuff happens. In the episode Lotus, we find out that one of their agents has a pretty specific name.
Rex, something urgent's come up. Urgent and confidential.
Understood. Yeah, okay, having the first name Rick is very common, but having this last name, nah, I'm calling that out.
Norton, this is Sanchez. You copy?
Norton has gone night-night.
Winchester. This is man in charge? That's right.
The next show on our list is a bit of a niche one. It's called Harvey Girls Forever, and it's about a group of best friends who become guardians. Anyway, in the episode Days of Future Presents, we see Melvin carrying some laser pistols, which look a lot like one of Rick's most famous devices.
Melvin's Laser Tag Party! And the Bo's Pretty Pony Ride Party!
They look a lot like this bad boy, don't they?
Coolsies.
Yep, Rick's portal gun. It looks a little too similar to me to be a coincidence, so I'm chalking this one up for sure. And with that, that's all the shows Rick and Morty found themselves in one shape or another, that is. We've managed to dive into 15 shows that referenced our favorite duo a grand total of 19 times. No doubt I'll have to revisit this video in a couple years and add like a gajillion other shows that's ever referenced Rick and Morty, but that's in the future. If you guys like what you just seen, then just you wait, because the video that's popping up on screen right about now is just as good, maybe even better. So go on and click it, and I'll catch y'all on over there. As always, guys, thank y'all for watching.